Hello and all, welcome to another episode of MMA Vision Analysis. This one we're talking Dan Hardy, his thoughts on Islam Makhachev versus Jack Della Maddalena after UFC 315. Obviously, very interesting comments coming from former UFC fighter, obviously, Dan Hardy. We're going to talk about Dan Hardy's comments before getting started. Make sure to like, subscribe, click that notification to get all of this that is new from this channel. Your channel, one and only MMA Vision Analysis. Obviously, Dan Hardy believes that if Jack Della shows up, the same Jack Della that obviously showed up UFC 315, where he won the title, stripping Belal Muhammad of that welterweight title, obviously, then he would have the upper hand against the Islam Makhachev. I, for some reason, beg to differ. This is not me siding with one person over the other, but obviously, Robert Whitaker talked about it. The guy, Belal Muhammad, that it swayed away from his game plan. He tried to impress the fans. He tried to outstrike Jack Della. And in all honesty, it was not terrible. A part of me kind of believes that was a controversial decision. Excluding the last 10, 15 seconds of that fight where Jack Della kind of looked like he was the better fighter. Aside from that, I think the reason that Belal lost that title is because he refused to wrestle. He tried to impress the fans by outstriking Jack Della, and he ended up losing his title. So that's not what's going to happen with Islam. Islam is going to go in there from the first minute to the last minute. He's going to take Jack Della down, which, look, the guy can be taken down. Belal took him down when he chose to, right? Initial stage of that fight, he just decided to outstrike Jack Della, and that was a terrible decision from Belal. That's not what Islam is going to do. Islam is going to go in there, and he is going to take this guy down the first round of that fight, and that is going to be the theme of that fight. I don't think you're going to bother Islam too much with calling him a quote-unquote boring fighter. At the end of the day, this is a results-based business, and you don't have to take the burden of entertaining the crowds. I mean, at the end of the day, even though that's kind of crazy to say, but, with all respect, if you don't respect the full spectrum or the full aspect of mixed martial arts, then you're perhaps watching the wrong sport. If you want to watch solely kickboxing or boxing, then by all means, but this is mixed martial arts, and grappling is perhaps the biggest aspect of it, at least in this current generation. So if for the people that don't appreciate the grappling, I think you're just kind of watching the wrong sport, to be fair. And I do have to disagree with Dan Hardy. In all honesty, it's not like Jack Della looked spectacular against Belal Muhammad. He looked like an average fighter, to be fair. The guy finds himself in a very, very, very fortunate position to have challenged for the title to begin with. And thanks to Belal Muhammad, who tried to play a different game plan than what he's used to, ended up really handing the belt to Jack Della. So with all respect to the new welterweight champion, but in that Islam fight, it's not going to be as easy as, this guy's going to try to sit there and strike with you, because Islam is not going to do that. And to be fair, I would think that Islam is the better striker out of the two in terms of him and Belal Muhammad to begin with. So it's all very interesting, and with all respect to Dan Hardy, but it's not going to go down as the way that Dan's envisioning this one to go down. It's going to be a dominant performance from a guy like obviously Islam Makhachev, if and when that fight actually happens. Nothing's official as of yet. If you made it this far, appreciate you for sticking around. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Like, subscribe for more.